Hi, welcome to week 7 with your narrative group PowerPoints submitted. We are now moving into the final speech for the class, and that is the ceremonial speech assignment. To prepare for this assignment, you do need to read a chapter. It's chapter 18, Speaking on Special Occasions. There is also some ceremonial speech examples under the course videos that you can look at. So first I want to go over what you will be doing for your ceremonial speech assignment. It is called a who, what, where speech. The outline is going to be due this Wednesday in the Dropbox. The speech will be due next week. It is worth 70 points, and your time limit is 3 to 4 minutes. So we do ceremonial speaking because there's going to be times in your life, both personally and professionally, that you are going to be asked to give a ceremonial speech. Perhaps an anniversary, a birthday, a wedding, a funeral, something to do with your work where you may have to present an award or accept an award. So this is why we try to get you thinking about the differences between ceremonial speaking and informative or persuasive speaking. So what you're going to do for the assignment is each student is going to pick a person to be. This can be you can be yourself, or you can pick a famous person, a fictional person, but you do need to decide who you are going to be in the speech. You are also going to pick what kind of ceremonial speech you're going to be given. For that, there are several options. You can do a speech of introduction, a award nomination, a award presentation, award acceptance, tribute, dedication, eulogy, toast, commencement speech, or convocation speech. If you do select a commencement speech, you do need to make sure it is a college commencement speech and not a high school one. We are all in college, so we don't need to rehash high school commencement speeches. All content constructed should be original. The only thing that would not be original is the exception of, citations. For ceremonial speaking, those are usually quotes that you may use in your speech. Finally, you're going to decide where the speech is taking place. You should set the stage, identifying the setting and the occasion. So, are you outside in a park, in a classroom, in a ballroom? Where are you where you're giving the speech? It can be anywhere, but it does need to make sense for the type of speech you're giving and for the person that you're portraying. Scholarly sources are not necessary for this speech. If you do use any material that is not your own, such as a quote, you do need to provide a citation for it, and the academic dishonesty policy will apply if you do not. So there are several examples that I've provided for you in the assignment details that you can try and get your imagination going on. You can authentically deliver your college commencement address. You could be Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind giving a farewell speech to Rhett when he told her, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." You can be Steph Curry giving a dedication speech to the beginning of the new Basketball Youth of America program. You can give a farewell speech to the cast of your favorite show. You can nominate your roommate for the best or worst roommate of the year. You can be Becca from the Bellas accepting an award for best standout solo. You can be the president welcoming the first colonists to Mars. All these are just some examples of how you can fill those who, what, where requirements. The outline for this speech is slightly different. The template is available for you under Doc Sharing and under the ceremonial speech unit. So when you look at it, you're going to see in the introduction, you have your attention getter, then it says who you are in the speech, what kind of speech it is where you are placing the speech at, and then you have main ideas 1, 2, and 3. So that is all for the purpose of the outline. Then underneath that it says text of introduction, and that is where you actually put all of the above attention getter, who you are, what, where, main ideas together and plan what you want to say in your introduction of your speech. So the text of what you want to say put together will be in that final slot. You'll notice the transitions have a spot for verbal and nonverbal. This is the last speech of the course, so I want you to really think about what you are going to do verbally and non-verbally to transition. So if you have not attempted body movement or gestures to this point, now is the time to actually do it. You will require wider camera angles for body movement, and that is something as simple as turning your camera horizontal so that it is actually a wider angle for you. The body of the speech simply has the main ideas, and then underneath that is the supporting material. Ceremonial speeches tend to have a lot of stories, so by all means, please make these personal and creative. Finally, you come down to your conclusion, and then you'll see again the memorable closing, that is your closing statement, and then the text of your introduction. What you want to say in your introduction was where you put your review of your main ideas and your closing statement and plan it all together. And then you have your main ideas review underneath that. So that is the outline that you're going to be filling out. That will be due Wednesday. The speech rubric is available for you to look at to make sure that you are fitting all of the requirements of the speech. One of the main things that you're going to be graded on is significance, and that is if you actually accomplish the goal of the speech. So each ceremonial speech type has a different goal. For instance, an award nomination, the goal of an award nomination is to actually nominate the person. So if you forget to say, I nominate, then you have not accomplished the goal of the speech. So make sure that the speech you fit, or the speech that you choose does actually that you accomplish the goal of that speech. You are going to be graded on creativity, and that is because it is easy to just randomly do a wedding toast. So make sure that you try to figure out a way to make it creative. You're also graded on making sure that your who, what, where is established in the speech, the occasion is established, and that it fits. The body and organization is well organized. Emotion and language will be graded. So ceremonial speeches are often inspiring or touching or really full of emotion. So you need to use language and emotion to make these speeches come alive. Support, if you use appropriate support. Going back to the wedding toast, a lot of people tend to spend their entire body of their speech telling stories about them with the bride or groom when they were younger. That is not the purpose of a toast. Toast is to celebrate the joining of the couple. So you can tell a couple stories from, younger days, but the majority of the speech should be addressing the couple themselves. You are, of course, going to be graded on transitions, conclusion. Your delivery is going to be graded based on verbal fillers and speaking rate, eye contact, posture, and then finally speaking time. So that is the basic assignment that you will be completing. If you have questions about the requirements, please shoot me an email and I'll be happy to help you with that. Beyond that, I'm going to tell you about what is due. Due Wednesday is your original post for discussion post number 7. It is also going to have the ceremonial outline due in the Dropbox and your self-reflection for your group speech in the Dropbox. Due Friday is your first response for discussion post 7, as well as your final quiz number 4. Quiz number 4 covers Chapter 12, Using Language, Chapter 13, Delivery, Chapter 14, Using Visual Aids, Chapter 15, Speaking to Inform, Chapter 18, Speaking on Special Occasions, and Chapter 19, Speaking in Small Groups. And then finally, due Sunday will be your second response to discussion post number 7. As we move into the final 2 weeks of the course, I do want you to make sure that you are paying close attention to the due dates for the last week. I will obviously go over these in more detail in the final announcement video, but there are special due dates that you need to be aware of as you work on your final speech assignment. If you have any questions, please let me know and I will be happy to answer them. I hope you have a good week and good luck on your ceremonial speech.